I hope you enjoy listening to the Nightside podcasts here at the Nightside website, and I invite you to join us every Monday through Friday night from 8 to midnight for Nightside on WBZ News Radio 1030. Let's start it off here. Paul Gustafson. Paul, you have been on the show now, I'm guessing, 7, 8 times?
Yeah.
At least. Tell us what you do.
No, I guide people into deep meditative trance. And while they're in that receptive level of thought, they can pull in information that supports what their goals are. It's really a simple process of guiding people into deep meditation and then helping them to kind of reset their path, finding where they want to go. And they repeat the process at home, listening to sessions. And the repetition's what cause the problems. Repetition supports solutions. So it's all about the patterns. And if we start repeating better patterns at a deep hypnotic level, change comes quickly, and with repetition, change sticks around.
Now, I understand how, and I know some of the things we'll talk about, weight loss. We have Jerry in studio with us going to talk about his successful weight loss, smoking, getting rid of the cigarettes. But the lady who's sitting next to you, Julie, it's amazing what you have experienced. You were here with us a year ago.
November, yes.
Yeah, tell us exactly. Mm-hmm. Tell us what crisis you were facing when you first met Paul Gustafson.
2 weeks before I started seeing Paul, I actually saw a documentary called The Connection by Shannon Harvey. And it was talked about the power of the mind and the importance of meditation. And what intrigued me the most is it said people that meditate, women in their 50s, can shave 10 years off of their life by meditating.
You mean shave or add, hopefully?
Well, add.
Okay, great. Just checking. That's all.
Yes. You're adding to your life because the telomeres shrinking with time. And so by meditating, you can actually increase the telomeres, which is the ends of the chromosomes. Okay. So that piqued my interest. And so I happened to hear on your program, Paul was on. And I took his number down and I called him right away. And I started a program with him. And 2 weeks after I started, I had gone into my physician for a routine checkup, and she called me the next morning and she says, your white blood cell counts are through the roof. I think you have leukemia, and I'm having an oncologist call you today. And had it not been for the 2 weeks that I'd already been practicing with Paul, I just remember thinking how calm I was at receiving this horrible news. And so over the course of the next couple months and hearing all this, the condition that I have, leukemia, there's no really good treatments for it. And to hear, you have 18 months to live with no treatment options really other than a bone marrow transplant is pretty terrifying. And every time they scared me, I just did Paul's meditation daily. And it centered me so much. I'm so calm. And my friends have known me for 20 years say, this is not the Julie I knew from 20 years ago. So I owe it to Paul because without him, I don't know what I'd be, facing what I'm facing.
How's your diagnosis at this point?
Knock on wood, I've been stable now for 10 months, stable. And that's something that the oncologist can't quite understand. So I'm very grateful.
So your white blood counts are in a safe zone?
No. They're elevated, but the problem is what happens to your platelets and your red blood cells. And my platelets since December have increased 51%. Through meditation and through something else I'm doing with a energetic healer called Tom Tam in Chinatown. Mm-hmm. So since I started working with him. So the combination of those two, Paul helping me cope and Tom maybe helping me increase my blood cells, have kept me out of clinical trials, kept me out of anything else. And I've been stable, knock on wood, for 10 months.
And how do you feel?
I feel fantastic. And that's the one thing that hypnotherapy does. Meditation is scientifically proven to increase your energy levels. And so where I should be feeling so draggy and devoid of energy, I'm just bouncing off the walls with energy, and it's proven. There's hundreds of studies that show that it increases mitochondrial activity, and it increases your energy level. It stabilizes insulin production. All these other things. There's so many benefits to meditation and guided visualizations that Paul does, and I'm just excited. I do it twice a day. I don't care if I'm on vacation. I've never missed a beat. And it gets addictive. The first week, I just remember feeling
pretty relaxing, as I understand it.
Oh my God, I'm very type A. I don't relax very well, and this gives me like the opportunity to relax for 20 minutes. And I left a party in the middle of a party I was hosting to go inside and do my meditation because that's how much I loved it, and that's not me.
Wow.
So,
okay, we're going to take a quick break, but in a moment we're going to talk to Jerry, who has lost a substantial amount of weight. To my very eyes, I saw him in June, and I know he's lost some weight. You may need to get a smaller Nightside sweatshirt there. I don't know.
Oh, I think so, Dan. Yeah, your T-shirt fits very well that I got for free from you, by the way, 2 or 3 years ago.
All right, another believer in Paul Gustafson, and we have some calls coming in. And whatever questions you have, believe me, this is important to me. It should be important to you. 617-254-1030, 888-929-1030. We certainly will be giving information where you can get in touch with Paul if you would like. He'll explain more of the process, but I also want you to hear the folks who have benefited from the treatments that he provides through hypnosis, through hypnosis therapy.
Maybe a long talk, maybe a short talk, but a talk.
Come on and talk on Nightside.
Dan Rea.
Come on and talk on Nightside.
Nightside, WBZ News Radio 1030.
We are talking about hypnosis therapy. Paul Gustafson, who's been doing this. Paul has a medical background, a registered nurse, and he branched out into clinical hypnosis several years ago. It's been about, 20 years?
2001 I made the big change.
15 years. And over that time, how many patients would you say you've seen approximately?
1,000.
1,000?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not all are going to be successful.
Right.
I imagine nobody hits 1,000%.
Right.
Okay. And if someone has some issues that you don't think you can help them with,
I say no.
Okay. Give us an example of the issues that hypnosis therapy does not work for.
Extreme nerve pain. If people have sciatic pain, uncontrollable nerve-related pain, I can't touch it.
Okay.
Can't go there.
Okay, but we just heard from Julie, who's an incredible story, who heard about you listening to Nightside.
Yeah.
thank you.
And I'm guessing that Jerry also might have heard about you through Nightside. Yes?
That is correct, Dan. In fact, I had emailed you when Paul was on Memorial Day night. And I said, because of your show, I became a client of Paul that Thursday night before. And my blood pressure, when I went to see him, I was probably like 228 pounds at the time, because back in May I had an anxiety attack and I had a virus. The medication for the anxiety put on like 25 pounds. And I was still sick with the virus 6 months later. So the doctor said to me, your anxiety is fine. Now we got to take care of your other issues. So they sent me to an ENT specialist, and he said to me...
What's ENT mean?
Ear, nose, and throat.
Okay, gotcha.
Ear, nose, and throat.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
He said to me that I have sleep apnea, which my primary care physician told me the same thing
Which
from the
often
weight
is
gain.
weight, yep, sure.
Okay.
Yep.
He said you have symptoms of pneumonia, the virus, and bronchitis. Okay. And he said, I'm not giving you any medication. And I said, well, that's a relief because it's not working. He said, you have two choices. Choice one is a CPAP. And I said, I'm not doing the CPAP. He said, the other choice you're going to have is weight loss.
CPAP is the big machine that
right.
you got to wear.
You got to wear it.
You're wearing a football helmet. Yeah.
Right. And I said, I don't sleep on my back. I'm not going to start sleeping on my back. So I said, I'll do the weight loss. And he said, I don't care what program you go to. But I've been listening to your show every single night since you've been on, and I heard Paul. So I called Paul, and we talked. And he was very understanding of my situation and very caring. And I says, well, one thing I want to do for us is go back to the program that I lost weight on first, see if that works. If it doesn't work in 3 months, then I'm going to come over to you. Obviously, it didn't work. So I went to see Paul the Thursday night before Memorial Day, okay? And we talked, and I says, I thought I was 226. It was like 228, 229. My blood pressure was 150 over 100.
That's not good.
All right, okay? When he asked me a question, what relaxes you, Jerry? And here's where you come in. I says, tones of voices. He's explained that. I says, at 8 o'clock at night after a long day, I'm on the couch with my two Yorkies. My lovely wife, Ann, who's home, is watching TV. I've got Dan Rea in on my earphones, okay, or on my headphones, right? And I says, him and I have the same feelings of, same opinions of things. But when he talks, he doesn't scream and yell at you. He talks very nicely, very calming. That brings me down so much. And he says, Jerry, you're going to do very well with this program. So he said to me, I want you to do this. I want you to go into the recliner. I says, I'm not a reclining person. Okay, I'm being straight. I don't recline. If I'm watching a game or movie, I cannot recline. So he says, go in the recliner, and I did. Put yourself back up, put these headsets on, and let's do it. When I went through the first session, I went through such a deep relaxation feeling, I conked out. And he said, it's okay. It was the most wonderful, deep, relaxing feeling I've ever gone through in my life. And when I come out of it, I go, oh my God, this is unbelievable. He said, now remember, I'm going to be on Dan Rea show Monday night at 10 o'clock. And I says, and I'm going to be calling you. Okay? So what I did do was I had the show on. Now, 10 o'clock, I like to be in bed or close to it, or have you under the pillow with the transistor radio. And which I did on election night, by the way. Anyway, I called you up, and I had emailed you, and I says, Dan, I became a client of Paul's because of your program. So then you said, is this the mystery guest? I said, it's me, Jerry from Medford. And you asked me what brought me to the program, so I had told you. Now, here's the thing I want to explain again. My blood pressure was 150 over 100. After 3 days of listening to Paul every single night, I went to a pharmacist, they took my blood pressure. You ready for this? 122 over 82.
Whoa.
Okay?
That's pretty close to
And I
almost
said,
perfect.
my God, I was jumping up and down. I says, I found the eighth wonder of the world, Paul Gustafson. So when I went to see him
You
next
doesn't
week.
have to say anything. Go ahead.
So when I went to see him next week, the following week, I told him what happened. And I says, I am so hooked on this. It is so addictive. I think this is beautiful. Wow. Let's do it. So we did the bariatric bypass. And I listened to that for 5 days, rather, every single night. The one thing I was telling Paul, even in the weight room.
So now, when you say the bariatric bypass,
Virtual
virtual,
meaning you talk about it.
That's right. Pretend surgery with hypnosis.
That's
right.
Okay, so pretend surgery. Okay, fair enough. Yeah.
So as that week went on, I did what he said. You eat slower, you eat the right foods. And my wife went crazy because she had to change the diet, one for her, one for me. And I started eating slower. I noticed I was getting fuller faster. Okay? And then I started just doing that, and I saw the weight was coming off. Not as much as I wanted, because you're never happy with that, but it was coming off. Then what really got me going really good was the fourth week. He sent me a video. And the video on the computer said, the doctor said you have to walk at least 30 minutes a day. Okay? Now we're going to incorporate some exercise. So I started doing that. Okay? So one day, it was a beautiful day, and I walked from my house down to Sullivan Station, which is a 1.5 mile walk. Took me 30 minutes. So I have a friend at work. I call her my coach. Her name is Kristen. She's a good friend of mine. And we talk back and forth about it. So she goes, well, wait a minute. How serious are you about losing weight? I said, very serious. She goes, I thought you used to get off at North Station and walk in for the mile. I said, yeah, I just walked 1.5 miles. I started walking that extra mile. Then she goes, what do you do at lunchtime? I said, sometimes I stay here and do some work. Sometimes I just take a little walk around. So she goes, can I suggest something? I says, Coach, go ahead. Go through Downtown Crossing, cross Tremont Street, Boston Commons, Public Gardens, and come back. Go through the whole 4 corners. You come back, that's a 2-mile walk. I've been doing that. Okay?
Okay, so I'm coming up in a break. Now, you were down to your weight. You said you started at 228?
I would say 228 around there.
Okay, and you're down to where?
191.
Okay, so you've lost nearly 30 pounds.
Over 30.
Over 30.
Over
Nearly
30
40
pounds.
pounds.
40
40
pounds,
pounds.
yeah.
Wow. Okay. We're going to take a break. These are success stories. We also have callers lined up, and it's going to be tough to get through, but you keep dialing. 617-254-1030, 888-929-1030. Normally when we do this, Paul is the star of the show. But tonight, he's taking a back seat.
Yeah.
Because he has some testimony here from Julie and Jerry, and I think we got a couple of callers on the line as well.
I brought in the heavy hitters.
And by the way, I just want to make it very clear, Paul is not an advertiser on this program. He's here. He came as a guest several years ago, and I became a believer. I've never been a patient or a client, but
we're working on that, Dan.
I became a believer. I lost 35 pounds another way with Awaken 180.
That's right.
Weight loss. So there's different ways to solve problems. Okay, and this is one of them. Paul will answer your questions. Julie and Jerry will take your phone calls. I'm just here to expedite things. 617-254-1030, 888-929-1030 to put good people in touch with someone who can help them.
Good evening. Nightside.
If you could talk, we would be talking.
With Dan Rea.
The radio has brought us closer together.
Because it's Nightside on the air.
WBZ News Radio 1030.
The phones have been stacked, and I'm not going to make people wait anymore. We're going to start it off with Liz in the great state of Rhode Island. Liz, how are you tonight?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. I know who Liz is. She's a friend of mine.
I know you do.
We met on a cruise a year and a half ago down the river in Germany, Liz and John. Liz, I understand that you too are a patient of Paul Gustafson, not Doctor. Go tell us your story.
Hey, Liz.
Well, hi, Paul.
How are you?
So proud of me. I was wound up so tight when I met him, and that was in June. I heard him on your show on Memorial Day weekend, I believe, and Dan, it's because of you that I connected with Paul. I went to see him. Had 3 visits. Almost had a heart attack because I was late for the first visit, driving up 128. But he's helped me tremendously. I have Meniere's disease, and a side component of it is tinnitus. And sometimes it's brutal, and sometimes it's not brutal anymore, though, because I really have a grip on it.
You relax your way through it, right?
I do, and you were wonderful to me. As soon as I got in that recliner, that was it. And I remember walking out the first time, a friend of mine came with me, and she thought I was euphoric. I was like so excited, and I was calm, and I have been really helped by you. You're a wonderful human being, and you're so good to me. And I haven't had to come back, so that's good.
That is so nice of you to check in. What a great story.
And thank you. You know, Meniere's is a very difficult chronic disease for a lot of people. I'm just lucky I found you, and I'm coping, and I'm doing so much better. Isn't
it amazing what we can do and the changes we can make when we just chill out a little bit?
Was this just one visit, Liz?
3
visits.
No, I went for 3.
Okay.
And I listened to his tape regularly. I almost every day. When I was listening to your prior patients
Julie.
before I was on, Julie, she sounded like me, and the gentleman also reminded me of myself getting.
She kind of looks like you a little bit, Liz. She's a very pretty woman.
Oh, stop it.
True. No, I know what you look like, and and I'm looking at Julie.
You know what? People have.
And her husband Bob is looking at me, but he's a very lucky guy. He's in the control room.
And he's a good-looking guy, too.
Okay. People tell me I look younger, Paul, since I've been doing this.
Is that right? Well, you're relaxed.
I'm not as tight. My face, I don't know. I just want to credit you because you've done so much for me, and I know there's somebody else out there tonight who is going to hear this, whether they have what I have or what I don't have anymore. I still have it, but I'm living with it and moving on. Even my doctor's very pleased with me.
That's wonderful. Yeah, you just you got to break that hypervigilant obsession that we can all have with various problems. You start thinking about it, dwelling on it, fretting over it, and it becomes much larger than it has to be.
Paul Gustafson, a hypnosis therapist, in studio, along with 2 of his patients, Julie and Jerry. If you have a question for Julie or Jerry, they can handle it as well. Back on Nightside after this.
Turn on that radio and back here.
Just to know you're on Nightside, playing on the radio.
Nightside with Dan Rea.
Let everybody stay where they are.
WBZ News Radio 1030.
Back we go. Let's go to Hawaii, to Arthur in Hawaii, where it's probably 20 minutes of 4 in the afternoon and the sun is shining.
Well, the sun is shining, Dan. Aloha. But it's about 20 minutes of 6 in the evening.
Oh, 20 minutes of 6? Okay,
Yes.
my math is off. Okay, yeah, 5 hours difference. I'm sorry. Okay, I messed up the math. Is it a beautiful night? Are you in the Big Island? Where are you?
I'm right in Honolulu, on the edge of the ocean in Waikiki, so I'm looking at miles of ocean in front of me as we speak.
Wow. Wow. Boy, I'll tell you, there's a lot of people back here. We're going to have a rainy, nasty day, a nasty November day tomorrow here in New England, Arthur. So tell us why you're listening tonight, and I think you might be a client.
I am, and I've got a great story, much like the ones that you've already heard tonight. I heard Paul on your show a year and a half ago. It was June of 15, and reached out to him, got to see him in August of 15, and it's been amazing. My issue was that I was one of these people who their whole life just didn't sleep, and it was great. It was great for years. But then as I chronologically advanced, let's say, it started to be a problem. I was finding myself tired at 4 o'clock in the afternoon and going through a slump, coming back, and I just saw that it was impacting my quality of life and the way I was living. So I called and went to see Paul, and the most incredible thing was, first of all, he spoke to me and said, well, you've spent your whole life programming yourself not to sleep, and now you want me to turn that around for you. And I said, yeah, that's it. That's exactly it. And I slept the first night. I went home the first night and went to bed and slept through the night, something I hadn't done in my life. I couldn't remember any occasion I've ever done that. And went for my 3 visits and have slept ever since without any problem.
We found the switch, huh, Arthur?
Oh, it's incredible.
Yeah.
I share it with people all the time because you just can't imagine the difference. And there are more benefits than simply the fact that you fall asleep and don't wake up tired. And something that took me a while to recognize is that there was a side effect for me. I'm 5 foot 10 inches tall, 188 pounds. I've been 188 pounds forever, and I think I probably eat healthier than anyone in the world and get my exercise. But I was 188 pounds. And a year later, I had lost 15 pounds. Felt good, but started to wonder why I had lost 15 pounds. And looking back, the only thing I can attribute it to is getting the necessary rest so that my body was not simply storing everything it could for when I was tired.
Yeah.
It's made an incredible difference. We're about a year and a half out now, and I'm sleeping.
That's wonderful,
feeling
Arthur.
better.
Fantastic. So you're still listening to your sessions?
On occasion.
Yeah.
As you know, Paul, before I even started, I used to do a minimal amount of meditation or self-hypnosis before going to sleep, but it only worked to a slight degree. It did definitely work, but not fully.
Yep.
After listening to your sessions, which I probably listened to them every single night for, say, 30 days, I found after that I didn't need them. I'd been reprogrammed.
Yeah, that's right. That repetition, you do it frequently enough, it becomes rooted, and you build a foundation that kind of carries you forward.
Oh, so Arthur, I have a more important question. Are you still listening to Nightside?
Yes, of course I am, Dan. I'm in Boston.
I know, I'm only teasing you. What
What
I'm hoping is that maybe with his next patients, Paul can induce them to listen to Nightside as well, you know? So I mean,
we'll have to talk about that, Dan, off mic.
All right. Arthur, thank you very much. Now, how will you spend this idyllic Monday night in this tropical paradise? What's on schedule for your social calendar tonight?
It's just about time to go out and have some light dinner. We're going to go right across the street. There's a nice restaurant, Morimoto, that we're going to go to. And we'll spend a little time there, and then I will come back. I shouldn't make this worse, but I guess I will. I'm on the 42nd floor overlooking the ocean, and I've got an enormous outside space. So when I come back, I will go out there with just about 2 fingers of scotch and a nice cigar and finish the evening that way while I catch up on the news and listen to more of the Dan Rea Show.
Thank you so much, Arthur. You call in any night, okay, my friend?
Thank you, Arthur.
All right.
When you get back
You're
to
all
Boston,
welcome.
stop by the station. Love to meet you in person because if I ever come to Hawaii, I need a place to stay. Okay.
Absolutely. We love to have guests.
All right. Thanks,
Always.
Arthur. Thanks very much. Talk to you soon.
Well, thank you.
Good night. All right. Wow. Wow. We're not done. with success stories from hypnosis therapy, Paul Gustafson. Again, this is not an advertising hour. Sometimes you hear those hours on Saturdays and Sunday, and you have someone saying that they've called. No, this is the real deal, folks. This is just my show. 617-254-1030, 888-929-1030. And if we can connect you with something that helps you, then Nightside is providing more than just entertainment to you. Hey, Linda, how are you?
Good. How you doing, Paul?
Well, I'm Dan. He's Paul, and you got Julie, and you got Jerry as well.
Clearly, she called to talk to me.
There's no doubt about that. So I'll just step aside.
Hi, guys.
Hey.
I just wanted to tell about my experience with Paul.
Hi, Linda.
Hi, Paul. I have nothing but great things to say.
Sounds like his patients love this guy. I'm jealous. Go ahead, Linda.
I can't say enough good stuff about him. I've been an alcoholic for 10 years or more, and I've tried everything. I've tried rehab.
More than once, right?
Oh, yeah, definitely more than once, and rehabs more than once, and even, incidents, hospitalization, emergency rooms, and, job losses due to my drinking problem. I resigned myself to the fact that I couldn't stop. I just couldn't. I'd been doing it for too long, and I was drinking every day. There's no way. So a friend of mine said, have you ever tried hypnosis? And I said, no. I didn't really give it a second thought. And I was talking with my sister, Pat, and we did some research, and we found Paul, and he had fantastic reviews, he was preeminent in his field, and I decided, it's a shot. I might as well try it. So I did, and I have to tell you that after the first session, I did not take another drink, and it's been going on for a few months now. And I'm happy with the way I feel. I feel good. I feel healthy. My self-confidence and self-esteem have returned. And it's really all due to Paul. And I went back to the AA meetings now with a different outlook, found a fantastic sponsor, Sandy, who's helped me a lot.
That's great, Linda.
I have to tell you, it's in my mind, it's a miracle. I never in a million years, in fact, my doctor told me that, I probably wouldn't be alive in a year, that I would probably be dying of cirrhosis of the liver, and that didn't even stop me. So
yeah,
it's an incredible feeling. Paul is so comfortable to be with, sensitive, and a great sense of humor. He didn't pay me.
We had a few good laughs, and we went.
Yeah.
You told me you passed the bar.
That's right.
Linda, congratulations.
Thank you very much, guys.
Thanks for calling in, Linda.
Thanks,
Thank
Linda.
you.
All right.
Bye-bye. We're coming right back on Nightside. We're talking about helping each other and helping yourself. Paul Gustafson has been a guest in this program on several occasions. He's back with us tonight. He is a certified clinical hypnotist. And I asked Paul during the break, you're not alone. There's probably, you said, about 15 practitioners?
Sure. Yeah, that I'm aware of.
In the Boston area?
Yeah. Yep, varying degrees of,
And nationwide, any projections? Or
thousands. Thousands,
All
yeah.
Right. Again, if you'd like to ask a question, feel free. 617-254-1030, 888-929-1030.
It's a beautiful night. Ready to talk?
Come and play with us, Daddy.
I said, hey, Dan, take a talk on the night side.
Dan Rea.
I says, hey, Dan, take a talk on the night side.
Nightside, WBZ News Radio 1030.
All right, I did promise, so that Patricia can write down your number, 888-290-3972, or on the web at info with the @ BurlingtonHypnosis.com. At is the @ sign, okay? And you are around pretty much any day of the week?
I am, yep, Monday through Friday. I see first clients as early as 7:30 and the last one at 7:30 at night. So,
well, thanks, Paul. As always, it's really interesting. It's an issue that I think a lot of people need to perhaps think about. Pretty easily located out there on 128, that's for sure. And I'll be interested in hearing back from you if get a little bit of business. Again, this is a non-commercial announcement. This is just what we do here on Nightside. And Paul has always been a great guest. So everyone, thank you very much, Jerry.
Thank you, Dan.
Thank you.
Thanks, and hopefully we'll see you guys again as always, Paul.